All right, we're going to get into this. It's been a while since we've been on TikTok. Obviously, a lot has been going on. Eventually, everybody knew I was going to come back, and there's a lot to address. So, welcome in, everybody. It's been weeks and weeks since holding a live stream, and we're going to talk about accountability. You better believe people are going to be held accountable for the craziness, for the nonsense, for all the BS that is going on these crazy TikTok streets. You know, I've sat back, watched, listened, and you know, a lot of what's going on is downright ridiculous. Uh, it seems like there is no accountability whatsoever, and um, you know, I took some time off of TikTok, focused on other things. That means they don't want us to hold this live stream. So I'm going to get into several things, and we're going to talk about it. Now, the last time I held a live stream, you know, I'm going to jump onto my first subject, and so the last time we held a live stream was there was a lot that had transpired. They had claimed that the Mexican homie was running uh, a rug ring that is. They're already reporting. Hold on. They're already reporting. I'm telling you. Let me see what's going on. Give me 1 second. Let me submit an appeal. Okay. All right. The day I come back, they're all we're gonna report the Mexican homie. I don't know who's reporting. I don't know who's reporting, but I submitted an appeal, and I don't care. I was only talking. Wow, it's all right. I got the backup account. I'll reactivate that account so quick they won't even know what to do. The only thing I ask for is just tap the screen, and that's it. So the last time they claimed the Mexican homie was doing this, doing that, and I was his little baby Chapo. They were saying that I was a baby Chapo, and which was downright ridiculous, right? Um, and the reason they're reporting us is because there is no accountability on TikTok, and it's all right. We're going to talk about this, and I'll reactivate accounts. I have 7 other accounts. I guarantee you, we'll still get the word out. So, um, when all that came out, and I have the recording. I'll run it. Uh, let me, sorry, let me get my folder, and then we're gonna get into. Oh, we're not. Give me 1 second. I gotta. Okay. So I will not play the. You know what? We don't battle. We don't do none of that. Okay. I had to turn off the guest invites. Okay. Uh, so Jen who goes by Jenn is Stronger, reached out to me last night. And for the ones that don't know, Jenn was a beggar and a scammer on TikTok. She's the one that was on the phone call that was played last time. So, like I said, if you don't know who Jenn is Stronger, if you don't know who that is, longtime beggar and scammer on TikTok. Obviously, she claims that things have been turned around, but she was part of that phone call that where they were accusing the Mexican homie of, being part of something that makes no sense. Now, let's get into this. She reached out to me yesterday. I don't know what was the reasoning behind her reaching out to me, because they obviously caught her in a lot of lies with this whole situation. And yeah, the last live was wild. So welcome in, everybody. My apologies if I'm not keeping up with the comments, but I'm going to try to get the information out and do it in a timely manner. So Jenn did reach out to me, and she said that she would have sent me everything that she messages and screenshots and everything between herself and the other individual. I said, okay, send it over. I always keep things respectful. I keep, even though she did what she did, I still kept a respectful conversation. The crazy thing is she blocked my account on the last live stream and then unblocked me to send me the messages on TikTok. Now that I have the messages, we'll get into them. So in all these messages that were sent to me, nowhere in any of these messages do I see, because Jenn was claiming that this other individual said that if she didn't do what he said, that he would have her essentially eliminated from, the earth. Nowhere in these messages do I see something mentioned like that. She sent me. I know all these messages are back to back to back. Nowhere in the messages do I see that anything of that was mentioned. And this is where accountability takes place. Because if people don't want to be held accountable and then try to claim some crazy things, and I just don't get it. But I'm going to go ahead and give me 1 second, because I'm going to pull up a screen recording real quick. So when I started going through the messages, I started going through everything. Okay, I got the file downloaded. Give me one. I'm just going to grab this screen recording real quick. It's not going to have any sound to it. So she blocked Mrs. Homie as well. So Jenn did block Mrs. Homie and then unblocked her so she could send her messages. So Mrs. Homie, when the phone call was being played last time, hey Pops, welcome in everybody. When the phone call was played last time, Mrs. Homie shared the live over to Jenn. And we're talking about Jenn is Stronger. So a lot of people shared the live stream over to Jenn. And Jenn replied to Mrs. Homie, and Jenn told Mrs. Homie, can I help you, Mrs. Homie? Mrs. Homie responded, you better go look at that live. You're in it. Because the phone call was being played. And so they shared over the live stream where this phone call was being played. And Mrs. Homie, here, sent another message to Jenn. And Mrs. Homie told Jenn he has the phone call with the other individual. And let me see. Okay, so what Jenn responded was, this is what Jenn said. Jenn said he has the phone call with Scotty, with what Scotty told me to say, because he told me that if I didn't say those things, he had ways of making people disappear. And then he said on the upside, he was going to help get the word out about the cyberbullying and how people lied on me about sending me money. That never happened. I don't even know that guy. So that's what Jenn originally told Mrs. Homie. That the other individual had said that he had ways of making people disappear. That's wild work. That's some crazy accusations to throw out there. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with the comments, but I want to just stay focused on what information I want to get out there. Mrs. Homie told Jenn, well, you better go in and say something. Jenn responded, I'm pretty sure I still have the text messages. I'm screen recording and taking it to my lawyer tomorrow. And Scotty did ask me for money. They took my food stamps because I make too much money. I was all like, wait a minute. I'm all like, that's crazy. That for Jenn to say that somebody asked her for money, I was all like, oh, something ain't right with all of this. Something ain't right. Let me continue with the messages. So Jenn tells Mrs. Homie, feel free to call me, and gave Mrs. Homie a phone number and said, I'll tell you everything and you can record it. Well, Mrs. Homie doesn't play that. Mrs. Homie's not going to make a phone call to somebody and then record it, and especially with Jenn. We're not doing that. I'm sorry, and at that, I don't even like recording conversations. I don't like it. That's just not how I roll. Let's continue with this. And Jenn said, and that phone call was like a while ago. I sent info to that guy that did that live today. I could send it to you if you want. Mrs. Homie told her, you can send to Homie. He will be live soon. Jenn told Mrs. Homie, he said he was going to call me, but guess he lied. At the time, Jenn said at the time all this was going down, those ladies just did all that stuff to me, pretending to be my friend and then making up lies. Scotty contacted me, and there was 2 or 3 phone calls, and he said he could make all the bullying to stop as long as I did what he said. And if I didn't, and if I didn't, then he had ways of people leaving, if you get what I'm saying. I was desperate because the bullying got bad and people saying lies on me, even worse. So he called me and said everything for me to say, and he wanted everything out of my phone sent to him. Well, I didn't send him nothing. He did most of the time. I apologize for the dog barking in the background. While I didn't send him nothing, he did most of the talking. After we got off the phone, I just unfriended him and didn't send nothing and started contacting lawyers and things and making the bullying to stop on my own. And in the past 2 months, my lawyer has gotten some people involved, and that's why we are moving forward and suing some individuals. Jenn also said this is what people do. And Scotty said no one would believe me if I told them what really happened. But I got to go. I got to send a message to the investigator because the messages I'm getting are crazy. Have a good night. And I said I was sorry a few months ago in my life to you and your family. I have done some dumb shit. If I could take it back, I would. I really am sorry. That was the end of the conversation between Mrs. Homie and Jenn. And I have a whole screen recording. Now, so when Jenn contacted me yesterday evening, I was wondering what was going on. You know, I just didn't know what was going on. So I'm trying to, Mrs. Homie sent me something else. I don't know what it is. Now let me get down to the nitty gritty of all this. Huh? Oh, sorry. I'm over here trying to. Oh, T-Rex, I was reading the messages. I was reading the messages, so I'm just reading them the way they came, you know, how everything was done. Now, I was wondering why Jenn had reached out to me. She already had blocked me on TikTok. And she was messaging me on TikTok, and I was all like, oh, this is kind of weird. And because they caught her in some lies. They caught Jenn in some lies. And welcome in, everybody. My apologies. I know I've been away for weeks and weeks, but, you know, accountability will be held. We're going to hold people accountable for everything that's being done. Oh, yeah, I seen that, Mr. Paul Brown. Now, I see it was kind of fishy to me that she was even reaching out to me because she blocked me. But there's always an agenda. There's always something behind. There's a method to the madness, right? When somebody reaches out to you, after they block you and after everything that they have done, especially with the accusations that were thrown out, because let me say this, and I'm going to be very loud and clear for everybody. If you sit there, if somebody sits there and accuses somebody of being a little junior Al Chapo, a Chapo Junior, and running an organization as big as, you know what I'm saying, if somebody's going to throw those type of accusations out there, you better come with some solid proof. Am I lagging? If I'm lagging, I'm being reported. Let me see. I'll get somebody. All I need is I'll get somebody in. Or maybe not. Or is it about to go down? I'm going to have to get somebody in the box. I got to turn off all my notifications. Oh. Hey, KK.
Hey, I was just coming up here to hop in a box.
Okay, thank you. This is wild. They're reporting us. I mean, it's nothing new. Thank you, KK. Let me see if I could change this grid now. Maybe. No. I'm going to try to change this grid real quick. Oh, okay. Moderators got it? Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, we're being reported left and right. It's all right. Now, being that... So now let's get into what Jenn sent me. So Jenn ended up sending me messages, and I could verify the phone number to this individual that they were plotting. They were plotting. See, for the ones that were not here when that phone call was played, they wanted to get my house raided. Jenn and this other individual were plotting They had a plot to have my house raided by a SWAT team. That was their plan. They wanted the SWAT team to come kick down my door and raid my home, all just for bringing awareness. Just for bringing awareness, they were going to have my house raided. And it's all been verified, a very credible source. You know what the good thing is? But here in our city, and I see them every week, and they know that I'm a legitimate business owner and I work hard for my money. So that wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't have worked out for them to have my house raided. All because bringing awareness. All because people don't like me. All because I couldn't agree with somebody on what they were doing on social media. So they were going to have my house raided. And it's been verified. That is crazy work. Just because somebody doesn't like me and they don't like that I bring awareness, and because I couldn't agree with certain things, they were going to have my house raided. That's why accountability has to be taken. And I verified the phone number that's attached to these messages is to being Jenn and the other individual that we're going to have that happen. I verified the number because I recognize the number and it's attached to their business. So these messages with Jenn and the other individual started May 10th. It was a Saturday of this year. This goes back to May when they were planning to have my house raided. All the way back to May of this year. So this message is May 10th, a Saturday, 7:51 p.m. It says, "Hey, this is Scott. I don't hide behind fake numbers." Jenn replied, "Who is this?" Scott said, "You by chance have the picture of those comments directed to you, that it should have been you and not there? And don't ever say you are not somebody, because you are. These people are done. Their days on TikTok doing this are over. KK and Eric are going to end up in prison." I was like, wait a minute. I mean, so they were coming after a group of us. It was KK, somebody by the name of Eric, myself. They were going to plan some real foul things just for bringing awareness. Jenn responded, "I have everything. I know how to stop them." Scott replied, "There's a lot to stop. It's just not one. But what's your thought?" Let me get to... Jenn responded by printing all my everything out and writing it all out and the ending myself so they can be charged. "I have been pushed way too far. Can you call me? I'm sorry, but they should have never done what they have done." Scott replied, "Yeah, give me a little bit. You're right, though. There's a lot more to it than people realize. It's about money. It's a money ring. There's rugs involved. It's cyber terrorism, organized crime. They are scared of me for a reason. Are you the one that had that Jen's House Mom YouTube?" So right away they started with, it's a money ring, it's a rug ring, and that's where they said I was the head of it. I was the one running it. KK was involved, they claimed. This Eric individual. There was a list of people that they said were involved in this whole thing, which was a completely fabricated story. So let me get Scott. In the message, Scott said, I own a towing company and I'm at a fatal crash, so I'm going to be tied up for a bit. Can you email me everything? We could talk in a bit when I'm done, but I'm going to be here for a while. Let me get down. And then Wednesday, May 14th, Scott sent a message saying, I'm at work, I'll call you later. Jenn responded, okay, sorry. Scott replied, it's all good. I spent half of my day dealing with the other SHIT. I still need those receipts for the detective. I did receive a picture of you being stalked, too. What detective? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What detective was he sending all this information to that Jenn was going to send to Scott? There was never a detective involved in any of this. And we're going to get down and watch and see as I go through these messages. Jenn responded, how do I get videos and stuff to you? They KILLED'd me in Petty's live. So Jenn went over to Petty's live, and I don't know what transpired there. Oh, was it scammy? Yeah, all these messages that were sent over from Jenn, and everything falls together. All these messages are going to coincide. Scott replied today, why? I knew he was live. I didn't know that was about you. Petty hates. Hold on, let me see. I knew he was live. I didn't know that was about you. Petty hates SP and the camper crew. And here we go again with this whole camper crew. Because they kept trying to say the Mexican homie's part of the camper crew. KK is part of the camper crew. This and this person is part of the camper crew. They started putting all these people as part of the camper crew. I was never part of the camper crew. Never. When we started the platform, Stopping the Scammers, we started, that's how we started out. I was never part of the camper crew, never. And there's a lot of people that could verify that what I'm saying, that I was never part of no camper crew. Everybody could verify it. The camper crew was something that SP had created. Cherry Blossom Special, Southern Pride, stuff of that. I was never part of that camper crew. But they wanted me to be associated so bad that they kept saying, you're part of the camper crew. Deborah said, I feel left out. There's a whole crew. Okay, let me continue. Jenn responded, I'm going to do what I told you. It's the way to make them stop. He let a bunch of people in the box, so I just left. Scott replied, you're better than that, and it's not your fault. These people are monsters. What about all the other people that they affected that you can help? I told you I would handle it, but I need everything I can get. I can get everything, but I need everything I can get. These have to probably put them in Google Drive and send the link. That would be the easiest way. Make a folder on Google and then share it to my phone. Just give me time. I'll fix it. So Scott was essentially telling Jenn that he was going to fix all the problems. He was going to fix everything. There was nothing he could do to fix anything. Now let's jump over to Saturday, September 13th at 6:19 p.m. This was just last month. Or if you're lost, we're talking about Jenn is Stronger. If you're lost and you don't know who we're talking about, Jenn is Stronger, a longtime beggar and scammer on TikTok. I apologize. I'm trying to stay focused on the information I got to put out. And remember, I haven't live streamed in weeks, but we'll get down to holding people accountable. We're going to hold people accountable. You better believe me. People are going to be held accountable today. So on Saturday, September 13th of this year, which was just a month ago to today, Jenn sent Scott a message and said, "Why did you do this? I only said what you wanted me to, and you was going to make all the bullying to stop. You're a real piece of work." So after the phone call got released, where those wild accusations were made, everything went downhill for Jenn. Everything went downhill. So she sent Scott the message. "Why did you do this? Where is the accountability? Where is the accountability in all of this? I'm trying to figure this out. Where is it at? Because you're a grown individual. You are a grown individual. You need to take responsibility for what you did. It's not, oh, well, he made me say it. If not, he was going to make me disappear. I'm sorry, but you said those things and you knew that that could damage people's reputations. You guys were plotting to have my house raided. You are going to take it as far as to have a SWAT team come and kick my door in. But you don't want to sit there and take the accountability and message Scott and say, why did you do this? Why did you do this to me? That's not how things work. I'm sorry. You're going to take accountability. Let's continue. Scott replied on Sunday, September 14th at 12:57 a.m. Scott sent Jenn a message Sunday, September 14th at 12:57 a.m. That is crazy. Scott told her, "I didn't mean for this, Jenn." And then something, liar, F-U-C-K'd me. And then Jenn responded, "What?" Scott said, "I was misled. This guy was never a cop." Remember? In the messages, when I was reading earlier, he said he needed all this information to get it over to the detective. Scott had mentioned something about a detective. Now, Scott is saying, "I was misled. This guy was never a cop." What? You can't make this up. I'm sorry. You can't make this up. There was never a detective. There was never a detective. Never. That is, you know what? Him and Jenn, they were both going to end up taking the fall. Both of them. They're both responsible. Because you know what? These messages, you know what these messages do? They incriminate not only Scott, they incriminate Jenn. Throwing accusations like that and then attempting to have somebody's home raided and a SWAT team show up, you are incriminating yourself. Both of them. That is crazy work for somebody to incriminate themselves, all in messages, and I have all the messages. I have all the messages. And these are verified phone numbers that'll tie both of them. It'll tie Jenn and Scott together, and they both could get charged for this nonsense, especially when you're going to have somebody's house swatted. Excuse me. When you have plans of having somebody's house swatted, you will be held responsible and liable. Excuse me. That is wild. Sorry, everybody. Let me drink some of my coffee. So Scott said, I was misled. This guy was never a cop. Now he's trying to side with homie. Let's work together. This is effing bullshit. And then Scott gave the name of the individual that he claimed was a cop or a detective. Let me tell you something. Scott knew this individual. Scott knew this individual for a long time. And for him to turn around and say that that guy was a police officer or a detective, that was a lie. That was a complete lie because I know who that individual is. The one that Scott said was a detective, I know who it is. They played the phone call. They recorded that, everything that was said. They have it. That is crazy. So Scott gave Jenn, this individual's name, what business they own, where they're located. Yeah, I'm talking about Jenn is Stronger. So Scott gave all the information to Jenn of who he said was a detective, but was lying. Crazy. That's crazy. Scott then said, that's who gave you up. What? Scott told her, call me. Jenn replied, I have a message to send, and then I'm gone. I was at work when all this SHIT was going on. Let me continue. I have a lot of messages, everybody. Hold on. Then Jenn said, I was only doing what you told me. So here we go once again. Hey, K9 Ringo. I haven't mentioned, hey, buddy, I haven't mentioned your name at all. So Jenn said, I was only doing what you told me. She told Scott, thanks, but just when I thought I had a chance to not be bullied, it's bad right now. First of all, Jenn, I have never bullied you. And welcome in, K9. I have never. Did the cop know what was going on or the fake cop? See, Scott knew this individual for a long time. And for Scott to say that the guy was a detective, that is wild work. That's crazy. Scott knew that he was not a detective. I don't understand. So I have never bullied Jenn. I have never. I brought awareness a few times and I kept it moving.
Twice. And after the phone call, that was the third time.
Yeah. So it said, Jenn said, thanks. Just when I thought I had a chance to not be bullied, it's bad right now. By just doing what you told me to, I'm that much of a waste to everyone. And no, look, nobody impersonated being a police officer. Scott was telling Jenn that he had contact with the detective. So Scott lied to Jenn, saying that he was in contact with the detective, and that was all a fabricated lie. Crazy. So then Jenn, once again, no accountability. She said, I'm that much of a waste to everyone. I replied, I have your back, I promise you that. I just care that you're okay. You're always welcome here. I always have your back, promise you. Then on Sunday, September 14th at 3:12 in the morning. What in the world? Sending messages at 3:12 in the morning? So Scott sent Jenn a message at 3 in the morning. Scott told her, all I care about is that you're okay. Please tell me you're okay. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I told you I would never let you down. 3 o'clock in the morning? You got to be kidding me. People sleep at that time. People sleep at that time. Messaging people at 3 in the morning? Jenn ended up responding. Jenn responded. Jenn said, I'm finishing up the paperwork, then I'm gone. What do you mean, then I'm gone? So Jenn told Scott, I'm finishing up the paperwork, then I'm gone. No way. Scott responded, don't be stupid. I always have your back. I told you. I promised you. I trusted the wrong person. I'm sorry. So Scott is saying he trusted the wrong person, but they were friends. They were very close friends. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It gets worse. Scott responded, Miss Homie's tapping away. Scott responded, you're not a coward. Do you want me to finish this? Finish what? Having my house raided? When Scott says, do you want me to finish this? What? Calling the SWAT team to my house? Having my house raided? Is that what you're trying to finish? Between Scott and Jenn, the plot was still going on to have my house raided? And this was last month. This started in May. So Scott was saying, do you want me to finish this? Scott said, I will. I trusted the wrong person. He said he was a cop. It was a lie. So they were still going to have my house raided. All I did was bring awareness several times about Jenn, and I had a disagreement with Scott. That is wild work. To have my house raided, all because of a disagreement. Scott said, if I didn't give a FUCK, I would have walked away. Jenn said, listen closely to what Jenn says. Listen, this is where the begging always has come into play. Listen to what Jenn responded to Scott. Yeah, they were going to come take my modelos. Jenn told Scott, okay, I'm figuring out my bills. I just don't know what to do. I did what you asked me to do. I already don't have nothing. My truck is about to break down. I mean, what's the point of them wanting to bully me? That's where the begging, once again, begins. This was just last month, September 14th. The begging had begun between Jenn begging, insinuating and hinting she was figuring out her bills. Her truck was about to break down. She don't have nothing. Here we go with the cycle. Once again. Just throw it in there. Just throw it in there that you're figuring out your bills. You don't know what to do. You don't have nothing. Your truck is about to break down. So what did Jenn think was going to happen? Did she think that Scott was going to pay her? Going to give her money for trying to have me raided? I think Jenn really thought that Scott was going to pay her for helping him spread this big lie, have my house raided, and then she thought she was getting paid like a reward. It was going to be a reward for Jenn. Let me continue. Scott replied, did I not prove myself? I've never done that before. Huh, that's interesting. You was live asking some lady if she was single while they talked about me. What? Jenn, why are you worried about? Did you think you were going to get with Scott? Are you serious? Jenn, you thought you were going to get with Scott? Because you told Scott you was live asking some lady if she was single while they talked about me. There is no. You know what? That is crazy work. Not only did you think you were getting a reward, but all of a sudden Jenn thought that maybe her and Scott were going to be together. You know what? I have all the messages. Scott replied, who? Jenn replied, I don't know, some chick you had in a box. Scott replied, I was distracting myself. All Cincinnati police tracked you down to make sure you were okay. Then listen here. Listen very closely. This is where things took a turn for the worst. This is where things all of a sudden got ugly. They were having this like cordial conversation. They were in on it. They were bound to get me raided. They were bound to have my house swatted. Scott told Jenn, don't F-U-C-K with me. I don't know how things took a turn for the worst, but Scott told Jenn, don't F-U-C-K with me. I said, what? Wait a minute. What happened? Did I miss something in all these messages? Scott said, I had your back. I don't agree with what happened. I didn't mean for that to happen, and I'm sorry. Jenn replied, what? Scott told her, don't ever tell me you're going to hurt yourself. Don't ever lie to me. What happened tonight was effed up. Ain't no way. Jenn responded, how the F-U-C-K did I lie? Things took a turn for the worst. I don't know where. I don't know where things took a turn for the worst, but it went downhill, and it went downhill real quick. And then Scott told her, you made unaliving comments. Scott told her, I'm a mandatory reporter. What? No way. Scott turned around and told her he's a mandated reporter. He said mandatory report. He's a mandated reporter. I never heard of a tow truck driver being a mandated reporter. But, hey. Jenn said, what? Scott said, aside from that, I care. I'm not playing these games. I didn't do that intentionally. And he is a bitch and a liar. I'm not your enemy. You got me F-U-C-K'd up. I'm telling you, things, they had a falling out. I think Jenn got upset that he was asking ladies if they were single, and Scott took it the wrong way, and it's all in the messages. I have them. Jenn goes, but why me? I didn't do anything. No. Scott told Jenn, I am your enemy's enemy. That guy was never caught. He tried blaming a BOMB threat on me. I cooked his ASS tonight. No. It's the other way around. It's the other way around because we all witnessed it on a live stream where Scott called several agencies and reported BOMB threats on somebody. Yeah, K9, he said he cooked you. We all witnessed it. There's recordings where Scott called police stations and did that. Let's continue with this nonsense. Jenn said, did you hurt a woman? Scott said, I don't play nice. Never. Jenn said, why did he say that? Scott replied, why did who say what? Think I was never caught? That guy was never caught. I trusted him. He lied about everything. He has a lot of consequences coming. Then she showed she sent me call logs. She sent me call logs. 1:24 in the morning, 1:09 in the morning, 1:19 in the morning, 1:14 in the morning, 1:02 in the morning, 10:34 at night, 12:43 in the morning, 12:39 in the morning, 12:10 a.m., 1:05 a.m., 5:54 p.m., 3 p.m., all different days, different times. Jenn said, like, I'm seriously thinking about my sobriety right now. Scott told her, you always have my number. I showed my true colors tonight. F-U-C-K, these C-O-C-K-S-U-C. Well, you get it. On TikTok, you know, these sea suckers on TikTok. Jenn said they destroy my relationship and any future relationships. They have destroyed me as a person. And just like Tara said, why can't they just stop? I don't know why Jenn had to throw somebody that has nothing to do with this in there. It makes no sense. You know, just Scott said they have no life. I'm not going to sit here and watch them ruin your life if I can help it. Jenn told Scott, I'm so tired of not being happy. You haven't talked to me in months. Scott said, you haven't reached out. I'm still here with the heart emoji. Then Jenn responded, that's the problem. I don't know if I'm being lied to like everyone else has done me. I'm really that bad. She was trying to ask, am I really that bad of a person? Am I really that much of a waste? And she said, guess so. And then she sent me a bunch of screenshots from TikTok. Let me see. Yeah, she sent me a bunch of screenshots from TikTok. From comments where she's just going back and forth with people in the comments section. Let me see what else. There was 4 emails. I just barely got through 2. See if anything else is relevant. So she said, see, there's no point. Give me 1 second. And then on September 15th, Scott responded at 3:28 in the morning, which was a Monday. It says, Scott said, I'm not even sure what it is. I'd have to dig for it. You should serve K9 Ringo if you serve homie. Serve me what? I would take out a restraining order on all 3 of these BITCHs if I were you, Ringo, homie, and KK. Serve me with what? I didn't do anything. We brought awareness on her a few times, and that was it. But serve us with what? Yeah, they were going to serve you too, KK. I don't get it. Let me continue. Sorry if I'm not paying attention to the comments. Yeah, K9, I don't know why they would try to serve any of us. Especially restraining orders. Scott told her on Monday, September 15th at 1:03 p.m. I'm not even sure what the hell homie's address is. It's been a while. I'd have to dig. That's a lie. Then Scott proceeds to send Jenn my company name, phone number, and things of that nature. And I have the screenshots to back it up. I got the screenshots to back up that he sent Jenn all my information. She sent it to me. Sorry, everybody. If I'm not keeping up, I apologize with trying to keep up with the comments, but I'm trying to read everything that we have. On Monday, September 15th at 5:40 p.m. Let me see who this is from. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, Scott. Hold on. Oh, Jenn. What am I doing here? Jenn told Scott There will be no more further contact as this is going to be investigated for criminal charges. Scott, you recorded the phone call, and then as an act of malicious intent, you had put it on social media to cause harm to another person. Tortious act, that is a Class H felony. So Jenn, because they had a falling out, Jenn told Scott that he was going to get charged with a Class H felony. They turned on each other. They turned on each other. Scott said, "Perfect. Don't contact me again." And then Jenn told Scott, "Tell KK, nice try." KK, I don't know what you have to do with. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I don't even know why I was thrown into all this. Like, I stopped covering Jenn whenever she got a job and like started working and doing her thing. I stopped covering her. I even privated like pretty much all her videos. I stopped. So for this to be randomly brought up saying that I'm on rugs and all that stuff, well, you know what? I posted that I wasn't. It's just ridiculous. Example of slander. This is 1000% slanderous. The things that they were saying, slanderous. The things that they were saying, you know, whether it was in a phone conversation, it's the fact that they were trying to go further with it. Those are very slanderous accusations. So, and you know, she said earlier in a live that she had apologized to you guys, and that's all well and good. But where's my apology for saying this crap?
Apology.
But it's not well.
Where's the apology?
Go ahead, Mrs. Homie.
There is no apology.
Take the wheel, Mrs. Homie.
And not only that,
She
when that phone call first took place, right? Her response was Scott threatened to take her out. And in all these text messages back and forth, not once did he say, "I'm going to take you out if you don't do it." She was willing.
Yeah, so we have the messages from. I have it all, and I don't know why there's a vendetta. Oh, Mrs. Homie, are you going in a box, or you just accidentally?
No, it's
okay. So I didn't see in any of those messages where he had said that he was gonna take her out, but I'm telling you, in my opinion, Jenn thought she was gonna get a reward. And, you know, she thinks that by apologizing, saying that she was sorry, that she did this to me and my family, and that Scott told her everything. She said that Scott told her what to say. She wrote it down, and that's why she said what she said on the phone call. But they wanted to throw KK in there, K9, Eric, Scammy Claus was included in there, Dora, T. There was a long list of people. There was a long list of people that were thrown in there. That we were all one big group. I was the mastermind behind everything. That I was the head honcho of an organization that I don't know where they got it from. So I was the big dog, and that I was calling the shots. And in that phone call, Jenn had said that she was waiting for a shipment from the Mexican homie, that the Mexican homie was sending a shipment to South Carolina, and that she was supposed to meet somebody to get the shipment and then send it out.
Well, don't forget, she wanted him to take you out.
Hold on, I got a puzzle piece. Exactly what Mrs.
I do kind of think that that Mercy May is an accomplice in this somehow, but I can't prove it, so it's just hearsay. It's just allegedly. It's just it sounds a lot like the things she was going around telling people as well. So I think she's also a part of this, allegedly. Like I said, I have no proof. I have no proof of it. It's literally almost word for word exactly what she was telling other people. So I just want to put that out there.
Well, on top of that, Come to find out, she also wanted to have me taken out.
Just like she did with Mel,
Yeah,
when she claimed she didn't. She did the exact same thing with Mel. She called, she had that phone call, she set it up. She knew that I re-recorded that phone call and I posted it on my YouTube, so it's kind of at the top for everybody to hear. She knew what she was talking about. She knew what she was talking about.
Yeah,
so,
she essentially what she did to Mal by putting a hit out on Mal. She wanted the same done to me. She wanted essentially to put a hit out on me. You know how dangerous this got between trying to have my house raided and swatted, and then essentially trying to have me wiped out for bringing awareness between both of them. Yeah, trying to put a hit out on me between both of these individuals. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Trying to put hits out on people.
So, Jen, I know you're listening. And you know what? You dug yourself. You sent all the evidence they asked for to put you in the middle of it.
See, and that I included that in the message. Jen can show the messages that transpired yesterday evening. She can show you everything. I haven't deleted nothing. I'm not going to delete the messages that were transpired between me and her yesterday evening when she sent me all this information and all this proof.
and I do also want to point out, well, and I know that there's been some, oh, well, we don't know if that phone call about Mel was rude or was real. It could have been altered. I understand that, you never know with today's technology. But if it was faked in any way, shape, form, or fashion, Jen would not have admitted to doing it and say that, oh yeah, I said it, but then I changed my mind and I was freaking out and I was just mad whenever I was talking about it and whenever I said it, I didn't really mean it. So if it was altered in any way, why would she admit to having that conversation in the first place and say that she'd said it out of anger or she was angry, she tried to take it back after, she got off the phone with them. So just, if there's any questions, if people are still thinking it's questionable, she herself admitted that the phone call was proof. Yes, Pam. Yes. It wasn't, thankfully, it wasn't to a real person who deals with that stuff. Thank God. But that conversation they did have that conversation.
So, after Jen said, tell KK nice try, Scott said, that's not a friend of mine, maybe yours. Scott told her, I told you to stop contacting me. Then, then she messaged one of Scott's accounts and says, hey, what is going on? Like, why is this guy talking about me when I haven't done anything? Scott told Jen, get FUCK'd. So Scott ended up turning on her as well and told Jen to go get FUCK'd.
He will turn on literally everybody, every single person in his life. So those people who also hang out with him in his boxes, he will turn on you. You just have to wait. You just have to be patient. It'll happen.
And then she also sent me where she was blocked from Scott's account. And I can verify that's his account because I know his accounts. Let me get on to the fourth email. Hold on, everybody. So this is where things also get very interesting. This is where people snitch on themselves. So there's an account on TikTok called SP Save the Children Fund. Scott was sending Jenn screenshots of that account. Guess who's behind that account? I'm just going to leave you guessing. I'm going to leave you guessing on who's behind that SP Save the Children fund. I'm going to leave it for everybody. Because Scott was sending all these screenshots of that account over to Jenn. I have a lot of screenshots of what was sent. Because they had posts about KK and me and some comments that are just downright inappropriate. Because one of those accounts that was commenting, I believe, was that a fake account, KK?
Where?
On that SP, on one of the posts they had, on the SP Save the Children Fund. This was back
If it's my name, it's likely not me.
It's your name and two pink hearts, one on each side?
That was never my name. That was never my name here on TikTok. I had it. I had my name like that on Discord, but
yeah, this was.
I've had that account blocked for a long time.
Yeah, this happened October 12th of last year, a year ago.
Oh,
because
I don't know if it was me or not.
Yeah, because Scott had circled some of the comments from you, but I'll have Mrs. Homie send you what I have of those of what's in there. That way, I'm not putting that out there. I'm not going to put that out there for you. No, I'd rather send it to you. That way, you know what's going on, and then. So that is what transpired. That transpired with this whole Jenn situation. Started in May of this year, and that's why I said they're really. She claims to take accountability, but nowhere in those messages did I see that Scott told her that he was going to wipe her out, going to take her out. I have messages; they all coincide together. So Jenn knew exactly what she was saying, and that she was part of this whole conspiracy to have me wiped out and to have me raided and have my house swatted. And lied on that phone call all the way to the fullest. And there's somebody that could verify that they wanted my house to be raided. There's somebody that could verify that right now. You'll hear it directly from them if they want to tell it. They'll tell you. That's what was asked. It was asked of them if they could have my house raided. Go ahead, K9. If you would like to, I'll bring you in a box. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I see K9. Here comes K9. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Well, we've been off for a couple of weeks. We've been, taking care of family business. How are you and the family?
Good. They're supposed to go live tonight and put a RO on me.
Yeah. Oh, well, things, Jenn sent me all this stuff with all the messages between her and Scott, and
exactly.
And so
let me tell you my side.
Go ahead.
So when you and Scott had that deal going on, Scott and I showed you the text messages. I sent them to you.
Yeah.
He sent me pictures of your house, pictures of vehicles, and he says, Ringo, do your thing. You got inside sources. Do your thing. And I said, what's this about? And he was like, well, they're running this rugs thing and all this crap. And I was like, I'm not going off of he said, she said bullshit. I will turn it over to the right people if you show me solid proof. Well, that's when that phone call was sent to my email from his name. You seen the email, and I said I'm not going off of that. I need more solid proof. I said I need proof that this is actually happening. Well, I'm going to get it for you. I'm going to get it for you. I said, well, if you get me the proof, then I will have the home swatted. But I said, without solid proof, I'm not going off the phone call. And so I ignored it. As you can tell, it was in my email forever. I didn't talk about it. I didn't discuss it with anybody. I didn't attack you with it. I let it sit there. And then when he started attacking me and, going, oh, well, Ringo did this and Ringo did that, I said, well, fuck it. I'm going to reach out to Mexican homie and show him what you did or what you tried to get me to do. The shit that he's telling Jenn, that I said I was a police officer, he knows damn well that I own a security company. Okay? He knows damn well that I have a lot of inside connections. And that's what he tried to use me for. He tried to use me to get your house raided. But unfortunately, I wouldn't do it because the shit he was sending me, you can tell, man, it didn't add up. There's no proof of that. I'm not going to do that to somebody. For one, I didn't even know who you were. And when you were in my box, you were very respectful to me. So I was like, listen, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I let it sit there. But now, he after I let that email out, oh, now you put her life in jeopardy. You're going to go to jail. You shouldn't have posted that and sent it to people and to try to cover it up.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And before you even came in, K9, I didn't mention your name, at all.
No, I know. I seen you were live and I came in.
Yeah, because I didn't want to put your name out there. I know you have some dealings going on also with Scott, and then with this whole Jenn situation.
Well, like I said last night, not to cut you off, you're telling the truth. I will never get mad at you for telling the truth. Anybody on this app. But I will tell you the truth. Mr. fucking Bailey, I do have a case number for him out of Perry County. And if you want it, I'll give it to you. Right here in Illinois, call him up. Tell him my name. My name is Frederick Cleveland against Scott Bailey. Tell him you'd like to get a copy of the police report. It's already been filed. Terroristic threats, stalking, harassment, it's all been filed.
And this is a lot. This is a lot. K9, me and Mrs. Homie want to thank you for not moving forward without actually having solid concrete, because of the phone call that Jenn and Scott had.
Exactly.
And, saying that, there was this big organization, I was the head of it, and all that. We want to thank you for doing your due diligence and, reaching out to me and seeing what was going on and not just going based off what somebody had told you, and then you would have, you could have had my house raided and swatted, all because somebody didn't like me. We want to thank you.
And the reason why you're welcome. And the reason why he reached out to me, one of the reasons is because you all know what was her name. What the hell was her name? Sigler? Remember Sigler case?
Yeah.
When I had her house raided, and you know what he says, oh, I'm gonna report you. They found what they needed to found. That's why, and I'm not going to talk about our children, but that's the reason why one of the 13-year-olds are in trouble right now. As of today, still in trouble. So yes, when I had that house raided, it was raided for a reason.
Yeah, you had mentioned that previously when, before we deactivated and we started, because you're like me, K9. We go the legal route. We don't
Exactly.
We don't play all this, sending people here, doing this, doing dirty things. That's not
Yeah.
that's
Well,
not how it works.
you know what I'd like to say? Did y'all notice his computer just up and suddenly crashed? And he had to go get another one? Yeah. There's reasons for that.
And moderators, if you see some, okay, you got it. Yeah,
There's reasons. There's reasons for that.
yeah. Thank you, moderators, for muting that account. It's a new account, and we know who it is. We know who's behind that 0 followers, 0.
Yeah, exactly.
We know who it is, and
But I do stand behind you, and I always will. Just so you know, I'm gonna drop down. Just stay in the chat. But just so you know, you can use my name whenever you need to use it. I will text you over that case number
please.
and the sergeant's name. Because not only did he get it against me, not only did he get my charges, my clients also filed charges.
I'm glad to hear that, K9. Somebody else has also filed charges on Jenn as well.
Okay.
Situation.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to pursue some legal matters with Jenn and Scott on a higher
level. And let me tell you, if you need me to testify, I will testify for you about that email. It's not deleted. It's still in my email. I will not delete it. That's solid proof. Remember, I told you when you send things, it becomes a third person and a fourth person, a fifth person. I have it in my email, and it will stay there.
I want to thank you, K9. If there's anything we can help out with, you know how to get in contact with me. You have, you have my real phone number.
Exactly.
You have my real phone number, and you know how to get a hold of me. Stay in contact with me. I hope you and your family are doing amazing, and sending prayers and best wishes to you and your family. And me and Miss Homie just really want to thank you for all of your help in all of this, because things could have went south real quick.
Yeah, well, I wasn't that stupid to go off of that email.
Thank you, K9.
And I do have one thing to say about that phone call.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can tell by her voice she was not scared of shit.
No.
Okay, she didn't care about anything. I mean, talking in front of customers? Come on now.
And that's what I was just about to point out. She was literally at work talking about these rug rings and the fact that people were on meth and all this. She was literally doing this in front of customers, for God's sakes.
She thought Scotty was going to have me just go up and take him out and get him rated, but I wasn't that stupid. That's a big allegation, man. That's a big, big allegation to make against somebody. And like I said, you don't have a picture. There's got to be some kind of pictures. Do you have like a text message that you can prove that came from Mexican homie's phone about this? Do you have some kind of proof? Do you have a recording, at least a voice recording of them two setting this up? I need something. Not with you talking to Jenn. I don't even know who this Jenn is. I said, but I'll tell you right now, I don't believe it. And I'm not going to do anything. And I didn't. Did I get caught off? They'll probably report me. I'm going to drop down. I don't want to lose this account, buddy.
Okay, K9. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so now for Jenn, obviously, as it was just mentioned, she knew exactly what she was talking about. It's not like she was forced to say anything at all. So there really is no accountability on her part at all. Sorry, everybody, I'm making my coffee.
Well, and she's only taking accountability per se for the things that people are talking about, for the things that people know. But taking accountability is being 100% transparent. It's being, it's having integrity, which is basically doing the right thing when nobody knows about it or when nobody's looking. Like, she should have came out and told all of this stuff. And I know people are going to say, well, she doesn't owe you guys crap. She quite literally said that I was in a rug ring. Yes, she does owe me that. She needs to take accountability for that. She needs to take accountability for all of these other things that people don't know about. And I guarantee you, she wasn't going to mention until, it came out about it.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to make it all about me. It's just, why do these things always involve me, for one? But it's just, it's just wild. It is wild to me.
And I get it, KK, because there was a lot of people that were essentially affected by this because so many names were dropped. So many names were mentioned in that phone call. And nowhere are we running any type of organization like that. I mean, that is preposterous. That's a big word for me. It is ludicrous. It's insanity. For Jenn to sit there along with another individual and throw these wild accusations out there that, there's this organization, I'm the head of it, KK's part of it, Scammy's part of it, Dora T, a lot of people were thrown in the mix. And for me, you could tell.
Texas Tiff, don't forget Texas.
Yeah, Texas Tiff. Yeah, Texas Tiff, you were thrown in there. But I don't, as much as she could say she's sorry all she wants, but there's and I'll show the messages where I told her there's legal consequences behind this. Because there is. Because what if they would have raided my house? What if they would have raided KK's house?
Yeah, I know you guys have children. I have children. And she's already previously threatened to call CPS on me several different times within a span of 48 hours because I was exposing her lies. She's already done that until I pointed out that doing that, calling CPS a false CPS claim it's a misdemeanor. So until I said that and mentioned that, and then she stopped. But it's still, she already knows where I live because somebody that I sent a Christmas present to gave her my address. So she's already made these threats. If she had called that in, if that had gotten out, that they're claiming I'm part of this rug ring, like you said, my house could have been raided. My children, they could have done an investigation and, disrupted my life over nothing, over a grudge, like you said, over a stupid, oh, you don't agree with me, I'm gonna, make your life a living hell. It's disgusting.
It is. And, as much as like I said, she could tell me she's sorry all she wants, but sorry is not, if something would have happened, just like KK just mentioned, if our house would have been raided for no reason, just because two people don't like us on TikTok, over a disagreement with one of them, the other one, because we brought awareness a few times, it would have affected our home. Obviously, we're not doing what they were claiming, but it would have disrupted our home as well. It would have obviously, scared the little ones and stuff like that. It's stupidity.
And let me find you making false reports, Jenn. And I will press charges. I don't give a fuck.
And we're going to pursue legal action. I am going to pursue legal action. Thank you, K9. I want to thank K9 for sending me that phone call, the recorded phone call between Scott and Jenn. I'm going to do this the legal way. I am going to do it. It's crazy. Hey, Truth.
Hi.
Hi. Long time no see.
I know. I wanted to check on you guys.
We're here. Sorry, my dog is going crazy in the background. But there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I know. I want to make sure y'all were okay.
Oh, we've been doing great. I've been keeping myself busy, working, getting things done. But when when I got these messages from Jen yesterday evening, and then Jen was on a live stream today earlier, to telling people that essentially that we were okay, me and her. Um,
Yep. She said that she reached out, she apologized to you guys, and she was taking accountability and sent you everything that you guys would need. Essentially, is what she said. Yep. And I text Miss Homie so fast, I'm like, hey, just so you know.
Well, we know that's a lie.
yeah, you know. Also, what I forgot to mention when when she sent me the messages yesterday on TikTok, and then I told her send me everything to my email. I sent her send me everything, and then things took a turn for the worst after she sent me everything. She asked, "Do you have those screenshots?" It was right after she sent me, the 4 emails, and I said, "I have a lot of screenshots. I have a lot of things in a folder."
Uh-huh.
And she goes, "Well, that's weird. How did you get into my phone?" I was
What?
all like, "Wait a minute." That's when things got weird.
Yeah.
Things really got weird because she then threw it out that how did I get into her phone? And I was all like, you just sent me she had just sent me everything to my email.
Oh my word.
And so things got weird, and she was trying to insinuate that I had hacked her phone.
Factor, yeah.
So when I responded by saying I have things that other people have sent me, other screenshots, other things that have been put in a folder. I don't have what you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like things twisted right away. And at that point, there was no point of continuing messaging with her on TikTok, because the moment she said, "Well, how did you get into my phone?" I I was all like, you know what, this is not going to go good. So at that point, I was no longer going to be part of it.
Well, if you guys need me to do anything, I'm always around.
Well, I know truth. I mean, it got weird, so I just there was no point in communicating with her. I told her to have a blessed evening, and I kind of left things at that. And she said, "Oh, I'm gonna go have a good night." Okay, have a good night, Jen. But essentially, things got real weird, and I didn't want no part of it. I was all like, you know what? Don't insinuate that I did something. I got into your phone, and I did let her know that nobody could hack into her phone, and I could show the messages to back up what I'm saying. I told her nobody could hack into your phone. And right there and then I knew, you know what? I better walk away from this. I better walk away from this conversation. She sent me everything. And I think one of the reasons she sent me everything and she tried to get on my good side, because she knows of the legal ramifications that come with it.
Yeah.
And I was all like, what? It was weird. It was weird. I was all like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. So I cut it off. I just was not having it. I was not going to deal with it any further. And that's why I said accountability goes a long way. It goes a long way. And um, she's not taking full accountability for what she did and what she has done. And she's jumping from platform to platform to another platform. She's going to all these different platforms to have people to stand up for her. But yeah, everybody sees through her lies. If I'm, KK could attest to that. Truth, you could attest to that. Scam Slam, Scammy Claus. There's a Dora. I mean, there's a lot of people that could attest to. We see through the nonsense essentially, because I guarantee you she's gonna go on somebody's platform, or she's gonna hold the live stream, and then she's gonna play the victim.
Well, that seems to be her go-to, and unfortunately, there's a lot of naive people on this platform. And then when people like you with credibility and high standards and respect comes along, they want to cry, "Oh, see, look, I'm being bullied," and blah blah blah. So I mean, some people will get it, and some people unfortunately won't.
You have a video on your page, Bluegill? I'm gonna have to grab it up. And that I wanted to hold this live stream because, like I said, we've been. Oh, I didn't see the request. Sorry about that, Miss Kitty Bear. I wanted to hold this because I was not happy. Mrs. Homie told me, Jen was on a live stream and they sent her a screen recording of what had happened, and I was all like, "Well, what is going on?" And that's where all that came into play. Hey, Scammy.
Good evening, good afternoon, Mr. Homie. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Homie. Just everybody be forewarned because this is this is the way she is. She will start reaching out to people via text message, via TikTok Messenger, and she'll say something like, "Everything is a lie that they're saying. Don't believe them. I didn't know anything about this. I was set up. I'm the victim." And she will threaten to do something to herself, because this happens every time she gets caught doing something dirty. So just, if you guys receive that message, do with it what you feel like you need to do. But 99.9% of the time with her, she's doing it just for the attention. She's done it. I would say I've been covering her for over a year. Well, I mean, not this year because she hasn't been doing anything on here. But last year when I covered her, I think she probably faked attempting 7 or 8 times.
Wow.
So,
yeah, it's wild, Scammy, and I want to thank you for coming and getting it in a box. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for putting that message out there. Where did Scammy go? But it's crazy. It's crazy that whatever she comes on and says, I don't know. I mean, it has nothing to do with me. And we're losing boxes.
TikTok took our boxes.
TikTok is taking our boxes? All right. You know what? They're going to take our account. Yeah, we're about to. They're trying to take the account. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to end it right now. And it's all right. They don't want us to get the awareness out there. Everybody have a good day, a blessed day. Yeah, they don't want the truth being put out. It's fine. I don't care. I'll always do what's right. So with that being said, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see how many violations I have.